What's going on, guys? Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. We got a few things to cover tonight. If you're new to Late Night Live, we got a few new subscribers this week. I guess we got out of the shadow ban for the past few days. So we're going to cut. What we do on Late Night Lives is we cover a variety of hot topics that are going on inside the U.S. and globally that could affect us. Okay, and so basically, I'm like the hillbilly version of Tucker Carlson. So what we're going to be talking about, obviously, the big one is China. Some very serious threats, and I spoke about that last week, and we'll kind of cover some more of that stuff as well. But I first want to start off with how your tax dollars are being used, because they're always using them for means to facilitate their globalist agenda. And a left-wing group linked to billionaire George Soros, who you know is one of the most evil men in the world, has won a nearly $172 million federal contract from President Joe Biden's administration to help young border crossers avoid deportation. The very Institute of Justice that has financial ties to George Soros won a federal contract of $171 million that will provide attorneys to unaccompanied alien children to avoid deportation from the United States. The federal contract could end up showering the Vera Institute of Justice with $1 billion of taxpayer funding. So if you weren't aware, Joe Biden has made it easy for people to just march right into the U.S. He actually came up with a new asylum ruling that is now going to circumvent immigration services or judges, immigration service judges, by appointing asylum officers that will grant asylum to foreigners that show up in the U.S. after you show up with a printed page from their website claiming to seek asylum. So all you have to do is go to the website, print the page off, and show up with it, and a asylum officer will be granting you asylum. And this circumvents the judges. Okay. Then in 3 years, you can be a U.S. citizen, a voting U.S. citizen. So who do you think the type of individual they'll place in these asylum officers are? You think the first box that you'll have to check is whether you're a Marxist or not? And if you are, you're hired, right? So that is happening. It's happening. But get this, if you are rejected by the asylum officer, it then goes to the judges, which they have they're calling it a safeguard, a way to basically overrule that asylum officer to grant them asylum. This is globalism 101, destroy the superpower in an effort to become a global safe haven for who all that wants to come. That's what they're doing. They don't necessarily need tax dollars per se, to do these sort of things. They'll just print more money to cover the cost for all these radical ideologies that they're trying to put in place, and eventually, essentially devaluing the dollar. Meanwhile, our border is wide open. You got, people just showing up right and left. Over 2 million illegal aliens have entered across the border in the past 6 months. Last week, I talked about China, Iran, and Russia setting up shop in South America and the Caribbean. China stated they were going to show America how easy it would be to gain entry into America, or to get to America. Well, it won't be that hard, because Biden has pretty much opened up the door for all who wants to come, including our enemy soldiers. Can you say Red Dawn, right? Speaking of which Red Dawn do you prefer, the Chris Hemsworth, the new version, or the Patrick Swayze old version? Leave me in the comments. Let me know which one you like better. But anyway, you're about to be living in it. You're going to be fighting commies in your front yard. It's going to be like Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha 2.0 is what it's going to be like, Anyhow, China had some major threats to the U.S. They issued a statement, and basically I don't think these are idle threats. I think these are more of posing a global bulletin, if you will, in the event that they do some kind of first strike, and they're trying to basically make it normalized why they're doing it. They're doing it from a defensive posture, right? China issued a statement that demanding the United States immediately suspend all military arms sales to Taiwan, adding that United States should not play with fire. They said, "Do not play with fire." In a statement to the government, China demands that U.S. immediately withdraw its plan to sell weapons to Taiwan, cut off all military ties to the island. Otherwise, the responsibility for the destruction of relations between Beijing and Washington, as well as peace and stability in Taiwan, will fall entirely on the United States. China Foreign Ministry added that the arms deal violates the United States commitment to the one China principle. And if you heard what I just said about making it seem like, they're the good guy and that we're the bad guy to the like the global bulletin, the U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price fired back and comment saying, under the Taiwan Relations Act, we make available to Taiwan defense articles and services necessary to enable Taiwan to maintain a sufficient self-defense capability. This is something that successive administrations have done. It is entirely consistent with our one China policy. The potential arms sale to Taiwan, valued at $108 million, would include combat weapon system, logistical support items, small arms, and parts needed to maintain military vehicles. So, I think for the past 2 years, there's been Marine Corps elements on Taiwan Island, training their troops. They kind of kept it under wraps. And then earlier today, I think 6 hours ago, General Milley, he said that they're going to do an investigation of all military disturbances between U.S. and China, because China has been posturing for quite some time on us. Doing flyovers on Taiwan, getting close to U.S. military ships, and these sort of things. So there's probably, for what we heard, there's probably much more we haven't heard. And that's what is alarming to me. A lot of times when people hear things, by the time you hear it, that's either A, old news, or B, there's much more to the story when it comes to the government. So I would be, I'm concerned about it. If you're hearing this, then there's probably much more to it than what we're not hearing. So you guys heard about the mall shooting, and let's kind of talk about it for a second, and the media bias. All right. Let me see if I got the kid's photo here somewhere. I did have it. Let me see if I got it real quick, guys. I want you to see the kid. Here we go. Elijah Dixon, 22-year-old, a hero. He shot and killed an active shooter at a mall who had already killed 3 people and wounded 2 others in the Greenwood Park Mall in Indiana on Sunday. Dixon was thanked by local authorities and Greenwood mayor for his heroism in preventing more bloodshed, having neutralized the gunman within minutes of shots first being fired. So a law-abiding citizen, who they're trying to disarm, mind you, went and took out a threat. They've all not identified the potential motive of the shooter yet. Obviously, we probably can figure that out why. But I want you to look at these headlines real quick. I have 2 here. This is from Fox News. Indiana shopping mall shooter shot dead by armed Good Samaritan, police say. Right? So that's a true statement. That's actually what happened. Yeah, the shot was from like 40 yards away too, with a handgun. Awesome. That Elijah, if you follow the channel or anything, if somebody knows Elijah, hit me up. I want to send him some gear. This guy's a stud. So you see that, right? Indiana shopping mall shooter shot dead by armed Good Samaritan, police say. Now, if we look at the rivaling CNN, 3 people killed, 2 injured during a shooting at an Indiana shopping mall. So we know most people only read headlines, right? We know that. It's clickbait. You can't even blame the media, because that's how the public, just citizens, have just a short attention span. They literally they'll see a thumbnail of a YouTube video and they'll go on a rampage, you know, not even watch the video. So, and clickbait titles is what gets views. It's just how it is, and you have no one to blame other than the citizens of America. You know, and if you're looking at news, they're trying to monetize what they're doing. They're trying to get ratings. You know, I heard a long time ago that the best way to make money was to shock and awe people. And so, if we look at this, the CNN headline is basically like, "Oh, here we go again, another shooting. Let's take them guns." You know, so I'm a believer, though. This incident proves it. And the lady a few weeks ago that shot the shooter that came to the graduation party, the same thing. I am a firm believer, and it is proven, with a more armed society, it'll be safer place, right? Because shooters know, they go to a place that they know that they're not going to get much of a, you know, resistance. You know, criminals, if you don't know, they always look for a tactical advantage, right? So typically, if you look at people that are attacked, right, just from a common criminal, usually it's elderly or women, you know. And if you are attacked by, you know, and you're like, you know, like me, a 6 foot, 220-pound male, there may be multiple attackers or definitely a weapon being used, right? But most of the time, they're not going to attack someone that could be a potential, they could lose to, because they want an easy target. They're doing this for, you know, monetary gain or some kind of, you know, something. They're doing this for a reason, to get something out of it. They're not coming to get in a fight. You know, they're wanting to use the tactical advantage. So if bad guys know there are a ton of armed citizens out there that are ready to mow them down, then they're not gonna play around, right? And so I think, you know, the gun restrictions, the gun laws will only embolden these type of folks, right? And we'll see more, right? The more restrictions, the more you're going to see it. Social media is harping he broke the law because he had no gun law policy. Of course they're going to do that, of course. But you know, they it doesn't matter. Dudes save lives, you know, and that's the thing. Like they'll harp on stupid stuff like that, but the guy saved lives. But again, look at these, the differences. Fox and CNN, boom. Tell me, what do you see there? All right, so we're going to talk about Uvalde just for a second. I know we're, you know, beating this to death, but they released a pretty damning investigation, you know, and from the get go, like I'm not the type of guy to be like, oh, I was right, but I was right on this one. And the main reason why, though, if you go looking back at it, like initially when I seen it and heard it, I was like, no, officers were shot. You know, no officers were shot. And that made me think, well, nobody probably put themselves in danger, you know, or the kid ran out of ammo, whatever the case may be. And then the time it took from the beginning to the end, I said, no, things were not done right. I knew that out of the gate, and I said it out of the gate. Right. But let's talk about a few things to note about what the investigation revealed. It revealed a lot, but I'm just going to go over a few key points. There's much more, but, and Officer Tatum, you're wrong. Again, you keep, you keep, you know, defending these guys relentlessly. You're wrong, dude. Per body cam footage, they reviewed body cam footage, and the officers knew, they were talking back and forth. Kids are still alive. They're calling 911. So the initial reports was like there was a communication breakdown, and Tatum was all about, oh, they didn't have the info. No, they had it. It was on the body cam footage. They were telling each other there's kids in there still alive because they're calling 911. So they knew about the 911 calls. So they knew kids were alive, saying they didn't have knowledge that were still alive in the classroom and shooting was going on. Okay. There were 400 plus officers on the scene. I mean, 30 guys could have went in there and just mowed this dude down, right? 100 rounds, 142 rounds were fired during the entire from the guy, the shooter. 100 rounds before they got there, and 42 more shots were fired once the officers arrived during their time on the scene. So they heard 42 shots while being there and didn't think to go in. Luke, thanks, buddy. So other body cam footage showed, and you've seen this on the video where the guy thought he had got shot in the head and came running back. And let me see, I think I have that footage right here. Let me see. So this guy that's acting like he got shot in the head, he was actually bleeding from the ear. That guy is the head of the SWAT team in Uvalde. Okay. And he's heard on body cam footage saying, "We have to get in there, dude." And another officer told him it's okay because DPS are sending their people. So they backed off. They were going to wait for DPS to come. The Border Patrol commander, this is pretty bad for the Border Patrol commander, waited for a bulletproof shield and master key before entering. These items were not technically needed. They didn't use the master key because the door was unlocked. And kids' lives are being taken, and you're waiting for a shield. Right? Their training doesn't say that. It shows that they completely threw all active shooter training in the garbage. They didn't follow any of it during this situation. No one on the scene took any kind of leadership role. So usually whenever some kind of incident happens, it doesn't matter if it's an active shooter, if it's a hazmat situation, you put an incident commander and then you put the various jobs in place. So the incident commander can be anyone. It doesn't have to be a commander. Typically, in the initial point of it, it's the first person on the scene, right? So there was no leadership. No one became incident commander. Officers prioritized their personal safety over the lives of the children. And, I posted this photo today on YouTube and on Instagram. And I posted it to basically get a reaction. So if people don't know me, my type of personality, I'll post things just to kind of see people's reaction, just to kind of give me like a litmus test of society. I do it all the time. Maybe I'm a weird guy, but I do it all the time. And so I posted this just to kind of see what the general kind of thoughts of the public were. And Bear Wilkie, thank you, sir. And so what I got a lot of is, man, that guy's he was texting that guy was texting his wife. Well, first off, what they're responding to is what other people are saying, not what I'm saying. He's trying to get a text from his wife. I said that from the first video. I didn't care that if he was trying to get a text from his wife. My problem was I didn't even know at that point of that video that his wife was in there. He was trying to get information. I didn't care what he was doing. I heard the next day, but it made it even worse. That's why I did the follow-up video, that his wife was 20 feet away in a room with a shooter and he does nothing but checking a cell phone, right? My wife would be pretty pissed off if she was locked, or she was in a room unlocked, in a room with a gunman shooting at her, and I'm literally sitting out there waiting for her to text me. She'd be pretty pissed, So, but people were saying, "Oh man, you're wrong for that because he was trying to see about getting his wife." Well, why didn't he go in there? Big Red, thanks, buddy. Why didn't he go in there and save his wife instead of waiting for a text message? That's my thing, right? His wife was the teacher here. Got the Punisher skull. That's why the Punisher meme is, because he got a Punisher skull on his phone. The other weird thing is that he has a burner phone. So he checks both phones, but he stays in this corner the whole time, knowing his wife is in that classroom, and then he leaves afterwards. I'll go ahead and show the video once more. So check the burner phone and he goes outside. Mad Max prepping, thanks, buddy. So yeah, you seen him check the burner phone. Fox, thanks. You seen him check his burner phone and then go outside, right? So he checked his regular phone, checked his burner phone. Don't know what he's checking on that phone. Then he goes outside. But literally, people were arguing with my post, saying that, oh, he was fighting and was detained, and he tried to go in there. He literally didn't. You saw in the video, he literally did not try to go in there. He sat in the corner checking both of his phones and then walked outside. He literally did nothing. He literally did nothing. His wife was in that room getting shot at, and reports are she did not die till hours later. So potentially she could have been saved. And he sat out there in the hallway, in my opinion, like a coward. Kids were in there. The thing is that when you have your ideas is that, and the left always says that, you don't need firearms because you got the police. If you call the police and they're not going to come save you, then who is going to come save you? No one is coming to save you, not even your own husband. Stay frosty, stay strapped, and stay dangerous, because no one's coming to save you. You can't even depend on your own husband, right? That got the Punisher on his phone. I get ticked off because people are so they're just, I don't know what it is, but they listen to the narratives on whoever says what, and then just go with it and argue without even knowing the truth, right? I'll never argue something that I don't know to be a fact, because why would I fight something I could potentially lose, right? I'm never going to fight something. I'm only going to fight if I know for 100% I'm right. If not, there's no reason to fight. Only idiots fight for things they don't know. So anyhow, yeah, we have people like this in the country, and then we have China breathing down our throat. How do you think the U.S., if this is filled up with, the police force are filled up with 400 officers out sit outside while kids are being mowed down? How many of those type of individuals do you think are in our U.S. military? Do you feel comfortable and confident that you're going to have security and peace? I don't at all. That's why you have to be on hero, right? Got a map here. China. China is economically just devouring the world, and militarily as well. You see all these different places. They're giving money to Ecuador, Bolivia, Argentina. They pretty much own South America, guys. They're going to be set up there so bad, and all we got between us is Mexico, Cuba. I mean, they're right at Florida. I mean, you can see Florida from Cuba from Florida, right? So Washington must respond to China's growing military presence in Latin America. Obviously, we're not. We have a weak administration. We have, weak individuals running the country, weak individuals everywhere. Individuals that let kids get killed and hear it happening, and they'll wait for someone else to do it. It's always, let's wait for someone else to come do our work for us instead of doing it ourselves, right? Again, some people say, well, it's okay for you to say that behind a camera. Well, I've done very, very scary things before in my life that, and the thing is that it's okay to be afraid of things. It's not okay to be a coward. Okay. It's called bravery when you do things that you're in fear of doing, right? What the country, America, land of the free, home of the brave. Where's all the brave men gone, right? Maybe too much internet, too much social media, too much Dancing with the Stars. I don't know. Um, One low, thanks. Appreciate it. We will try to keep up the work. But yeah, it's alarming. It's disturbing. But again, guys, no one is going to come save you. Like that kid. Thank God that kid at the mall. You know that there's a few out there. You know, and I think a lot of my subscribers. I see your comments. I see your mindsets. I see that you are about this lifestyle. You are about the warrior lifestyle. About not giving up, not giving in, and not submitting, because we're not about that. We're not going to submit. We're not just going to take the knee. LAPD SWAT, thank you. How would a tier 1 unit respond to the Uvalde shooting? They would, well, it, you know, because they're not really set up for active shooters, but they'd probably go directly in there. You know, they'd go in just like you would anything, like in a combat zone. You go in, you know, CQB, make sure you're covering all angles, and go in there and take out the threat. It last a tier 1 unit. It'll last 10 seconds, right? But you know, as far as like setting up an incident command and stuff, I mean, they may do that, but I think they just go, you know, go straight to work. To be honest with you, Florida Sheepdog, thank you. The best thing a hostage can hear is U.S. Marines. That's right, and I've actually heard that accounts. You know, when I went in, they'd always say that because there had been some missions in the late '80s of Marines, you know, rescuing people, and they, you know, they hear Marines are there. Um, but yeah, yeah, you know, I really believe any, I mean, tier 1 Rangers, I mean, any of these guys, uh, you know, it'd be just like any kind of CQB situation. And the thing is that you train this stuff so much, it's muscle memory. You know, if you see any kind of tier 1 guys when they're moving, I mean, it's drilled into them. And this is the thing, is that in the military, you have to pretty much train for all environments, because you could be in any of them, right? So you have to kind of, you know, be a master of all of them, right? And being a master of something isn't just being a master of the basics, because it's all basic. But the thing is that you would think that police officers would really train on this kind of stuff, because it's so important. They operate in this kind of environment every day. It's not like they're out in the field patrolling or something. You know what I mean? They do this every single day. Usually they're always inside of buildings, houses, and things like that. You'd think they would be, you know, and I think probably a lot of police officers are. I can't even say that they're not, because Uvalde, I think, is just something going on, or maybe I don't know. But I think a lot of police officers do. I know a lot of police officers that take it very seriously. They know the importance of their job, and they're true professionals. I just think this leadership there has led to a culture of cowardice, weakness, and stuff like that. From what I hear about the police chief, is that he's a Beto O'Rourke fan. He's you know, big donor to Act Blue, and these sort of things. So who knows what kind of, you know, agenda he's pushing amongst his people. And if you see any type of leadership like this in any kind of organization, it'll follow through the whole command. Push through life. Thanks, buddy. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and thanks, much appreciation for the support. I think it really helped us push through that kind of lull we'd been in with the shadow ban. All you guys want to comment on the video, so I will ask you to do that again tonight for me once this video posts. I know you've been commenting in the comments here, the live comments, but please go comment on the video in the thread. Go comment what you can go comment. What is your favorite Red Dawn, the new or the old? Let me know. I do want to share something we've been coming out with this week. John Noveski Sr. You know, he's the father of John Noveski, Noveski Rifles. He has a company called Bonafide Pens, and he's a true gentleman, true patriot. I love the guy. But he created an amazing writing instrument here, and he made a Black Scout version. We did some of his a few years ago. These are Cerakoted, green and black, you know, our favorite colors. But we're coming out with these this week. And what I like about this is because it doesn't look like a tactical pen. So a lot of pens will get confiscated by security checkpoints. But what I like about a pen is that you can carry them anywhere, right? It's just like a flashlight. So I like to always have something that even if I'm on an airplane, I can shove it through somebody's head, right? But you can see it's doesn't look like a tactical pen. But what I do like is that he created a whole new um, clicker here. So the clicker, like a typical pen, you click, but see this one doesn't click. You got to rotate like this, and it locks into place. So now, if you put this through someone, it's going to stick in them. So anyhow, American made, some of the best machining that you'll ever see. I mean, some of the best machining, the smoothest, right? This pen will be, I think, about $100, maybe a little more. This is what you call a Mont Blanc here. If anybody knows what Mont Blanc is, this is a very expensive pen. I think it's like $500-600 pen. This makes the Mont Blanc like garbage. So just in case you're wondering, and I love supporting American small business, patriotic businesses, and I love working with them doing collaboration. So I'll have them in the store probably tomorrow. So make sure you check them out and help support us and John, because in lieu of supporting us with it, you support John because we keep his stuff going. Kathy, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I think we all would. I think you should be willing to lose your life for your loved ones, and especially children. It would not matter whose kid it was, man. If I seen something going down with some children, it would be over. I would do whatever it took. HE, thanks, buddy. I'm glad you love the channel. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. But again, I think things are heating up. Like I said, the Chinese threat is obviously scary. Seeing the lack of police response in Uvalde is also scary. I think it kind of all comes together where we're in a weakened society. Men aren't men anymore. Florida sheepdog, Supreme Court, and police do not have a duty to protect. Yeah, Uvalde proves it. Frost was here. All I can do is spare a tank of gas. How can we start turning the country around, reuniting instead of dividing? I don't know, man. I don't think it's I don't really see a real turning around. Jerry Wood, thanks, buddy. I don't see a real turning around. I mean, personally, in my opinion, things are way too far gone. And I think if you're not planning, preparing, and organizing and getting like-minded people, and I did a video talking about this other day, where to find like-minded people and all this other stuff, you need to watch every one of my videos, because every one of them's got some kind of nugget of knowledge. I know a lot of people only watch the late night lives, or you need to watch every video, every single video. I have guys come in and emailing, asking a question. I just had covered this in a video a few days before. Watch every single video we put out. Okay. N1C says, I have to agree, I don't even have kids, and that whole situation was foul. Yeah, especially if you have, I have kids. I've got 3. And man, I would I would do anything for them, right? And so for people that don't, because I've seen a lot of those comments, people that don't have kids, you don't really, it's hard to understand that relationship when you don't have children. But everybody, even people without kids, are saying that. People don't even like kids are saying it, right? So that's the thing, man. Someone says I have 6 kids and he's 41. Good grief, brother. Whew. All right, guys. Joe says he watches every one of the videos. Joe Palma, thanks, buddy. Yeah, please, everybody. Somebody just said, please, everybody, hit that like button. 1low50 says, everybody hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. We will not. Yeah, we will not be slaves. No doubt. We won't. We won't bend the knee. We won't be slaves to the globalist elites. We will not do it. Shannon Marie, thank you. Saying that Section 8 housing is filling up with illegal immigrants and going bad fast. Yeah, always keep your strap. Always stay strapped. All right, guys, I don't want to keep any more. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. JC, thank you, buddy. You're late to the stream. What's up with trying to go watch the whole video? Do me a favor again. go comment once the video posts on that. That helps. It helped tremendously the other day, and I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching. And anyhow, if anything this video doesn't tell you, stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Good night, guys. Take care.